today's video, we will be talking about some practical applications for the concepts we have been introducing to you. All right, Sterling, can you enlighten us as to the moon ceremonies?
Yes, I can. Now, remember, generally whatever I'm trying to teach, classes that I do, the workshops, need to have some sort of a practical application to them. Otherwise, they're nothing more than just lectures. I mean, that's great for theory, but there has to be practicality involved. The new moon and full moon ceremonies were put together so that people could understand and start interacting with relating to sign energy. And we're talking about the zodiac signs. Okay. So what happens is every month or so, it's not on the month, but it's about in the middle of the month, the moon enters a new sign. Okay. Or the new moon, I should say, enters a new sign. Okay. Sun does the same thing. The sun, however, stays in the sign much longer than the moon does. Okay. And what ends up happening is when we have a new moon, it means that the sun and the moon were conjunct. They were at the exact same degree. Okay, in the same sign. Okay.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we're pulling in that energy through the moon ceremony. Okay. We don't do that for the sun. The sun's energy is far too potent. As everybody well knows, you go out right into the sun and you start trying to sit in the sun and pull energy in, you're going to get sunburned. Okay. It's way too strong. What we end up doing with the moon is it dilutes the energy, okay, and it allows us to focus it in a different way. The moon is about empathy, it's about sympathy, it's about mood. Okay, it is the reflection of the sun's energy, essentially. Okay, whether it's here next to it reflecting it that way, or whether it's across in a full moon doing a bright reflection. Okay. And what we're taking the positive attributes of that sign, pulling them through the moon, okay, with celestial influence, because we do it through the Shekinah, okay, and we pull that energy into the brow chakra, okay, opening up the third eye, and the brow chakra is located right here, approximately. We focus on opening the aperture, indigo light, because that is the light of the brow, pulling that energy in, okay, through that third eye and saturating the entire brow chakra with it. Okay? And filling it.
Okay.
That's the purpose of it. Pulling in the positive traits of the sign. If you don't do that, that energy is still there, it's still coming through. The problem is that both positive and negative attributes are coming in. Okay, if you focus on the positive attributes, okay, that's all you're calling in. You're not calling in the negative attributes. Okay, and then what happens is, okay, once we're done with that, we close the aperture, okay, leave the chakra open, but close the circuit that connects all the chakras together. And then we focus on moving the energy down the front of the circuit and up the back of the circuit, and continuously moving. Okay, the circuit's closed because, as we all know, an open circuit, no light, close the circuit, light comes on. And that's what we're looking for. Okay. Then what ends up happening is approximately every 2 days, the moon changes sign. It goes into the opposing sign, that's what we would call a full moon. It's 180 degrees away. It's at the oppositional end.
Every 2 days?
No, that's what it does. Every 2 days it works itself up until it's at 180 degrees.
Okay.
When it's in the opposing sign. Okay.
Okay.
And that happens, it takes about 2 weeks for them to get there.
Okay. Okay.
Once it's in that, what ends up happening is that it's completely across from where the sun was. Okay. That's when we get the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now on a full moon, what we end up doing, because it's in the oppositional sign, we release the negative aspects of the oppositional sign. Okay. This magnifies all of the positive energy we've called in during the new moon. Okay? We release that the same way. We do that same connection. However, we're releasing it to sandal fawn, okay, to get rid of it.
Okay.
Okay, as soon as we're done releasing it, we close. We open. Okay, then we pull in through the Shekinah again. The positive attributes of the opposing sign, because oppositions are not true polarities. They will always share the same gender. Okay, and when we do that, what ends up happening is that the positive energies work in conjunction with the positive energies of the new moon, the positive energies of the full moon working together, okay, allows you to utilize both energies in that cycle. And it allows you to release the negative ones, because what the negative ones do is they create almost like a wall. Boom! Doesn't go well. Okay, the energies do not get along. If you don't focus the energies, what ends up happening is what generally ends up happening with most of the population. People get very agitated because they're feeling that opposition. So hospitals fill up, okay? Psychiatric wards fill up, okay? Jails fill up.
Yes, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things negative things that happen during full moons, but not if you focus the energy correctly.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing. Now, if there's any planets that happen to be conjunct, you're going to be pulling in or releasing the energy there too. Okay. However, instead of the indigo beam connecting just to your brow chakra, it'll split. And an energy beam of the color of whatever planet that chakra is ruled by splits off and hits the chakra, and then we open that aperture also. And again, we go through the exact same releasement or empowerment. Okay, and again, saturate it, close the aperture, allow the circuits to continue. Okay, that's what we do every 2 weeks. Now, for advanced people, I know some people who do this, will focus on new moon energy and then what you call waxing.
Yeah.
Bringing, empowering. Every 2 days, the other signs up into the opposition. And then once they hit the full moon, they focus on releasing the negative aspects of every single of the oppositional signs for the circuit and go down. Now, I know some people who do this. It's very time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of focus. And the reason I don't do it is that it ends up taking all of your time just to do your moon ceremonies, and you have no time to do anything else.
Okay.
So to me, it's not very practical to follow that. Not to mention that the energies are nowhere as potent as new moon, full moon.
Right.
Okay. So that's what the moon ceremonies are about, and that's how you start to really understand sign energy. You understand bringing it in, feeling the good positive traits of the new moon energy, and then at the same time, when it's in the opposing sign, you get the interaction and the feeling of releasing the negative aspects of those signs. And it really gives you an in-depth study of how those energies actually work, how powerful they are, and where they're coming from as you're working the cycle. Okay. So then, at times when you're feeling irrational or nervous, or you're having a bad day, or you can't calm yourself down, you can look at what cycle you're in and try to determine what's causing it. And then you can again focus on either releasing or pulling positive in, or releasing negative traits. Okay. Or if your energy's down and you're feeling really sluggish, what energy did you pull in? And is there a reason for it? Okay. Where you want to be, I was hoping this would be a new moon in Aries, and you're like, no, it's Taurus. So the energy's going to be kind of slower and sluggish. Okay. But it's building, it's strong, it's strength, and it's enduring. Where Aries is more whoosh and it's gone. Taurus will stay. So it gives you an idea of what to look for, okay, and how each of the signs differ from the other.
Okay. Okay.
In a practical way, not just reading about their attributes on a piece of paper, but actually feeling them coming in.
Right.
And then feeling them release at the same, during the full.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you did mention by name two of the celestial powers that we utilize in the ceremonies.
Right.
The Shekinah and Sandalphon.
Right.
Can you give a short little breakdown for them? Or?
Sure. The Shekinah is the divine feminine in Judaism. Her name means bride of God. She is the moon in the Briatic world, and she is the kingdom Sephiroth in the Kabbalah. Okay, she is switched out a lot by Sandalphon in the Kabbalah stuff, depending on what author you're reading. Sandalphon is masculine, but he's representative of the divine feminine.
Okay.
Okay, he supposedly was the divine feminine energy that was projecting out of the Ark of the Covenant in the story. He is the twin brother of Metatron. Okay, Metatron being essentially the Chancellor of Heaven, the one that sits on the throne, and his name means Lesser Yahweh. Sandalphon is the feminine aspect of that, the twin brother. Okay, we do the releasement to Sandalphon. Okay, and let the Shekinah bring in the dark side, and he essentially gets the light side, because masculine is light, feminine is dark. That's why we utilize those two. Okay, and again, Sandalphon, angel of tears. He's also in charge of what we call the Psychopompi, which is an order of angels.
Okay.
Whose sole job is to protect spirits of recently dead people that are moving on, so that they don't get hijacked by the dark. And that's essentially one of his main duties.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this little dive into moon ceremonies. Do remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.